All right, so let's go ahead and cover the recap of what happened today. So this lime green line here is the relative equal highs to the left that we've been failing to get to or get back up to. So that was a major draw. It's just a matter of timing, right? So today in general is our X day, meaning it will either continue or reverse, right? So we can still expect distribution. So with our AMD, Monday being accumulation, Tuesday manipulating down, we anticipated yesterday with CPI to have distribution to the upside. So I was able to snag along from the CPI after it manipulated, but I got stopped out trailing because that was the draw for me yesterday. It just failed to get there and then came back. So today would essentially be our X day, which is continuations, right? Is what I'm anticipating. So that continuation should take out the draw. Okay. So now, with that being said, we're going to come in and take a closer look at the timing that we have coming into the New York session, right? So the on the 90 cycle, we have accumulation here, very easily read sideways action. So it's clearly that Q1 on the 90 is accumulation. So if we have accumulation in Q1, we're going to anticipate an AMDX cycle for the 90, meaning in this larger red box here is Q2. So we're going to expect manipulation. We do get manipulation down confirmed with an SMT. That is your confirmed manipulation. Now we can expect distribution to the upside. However, we do have PPI news, which is this. So you can't really enter until this is done, right? So we do have our manipulation. It should not take out these lows, right? And then the green is going to be our distribution cycle. So now that's the cycle we want to zero in on to get our distribution. So what do we do here? Now we can look at the micro cycle to kind of get our entry a little bit precise in here to align the distribution. So we want to enter in after manipulation or on the distribution phase. So on Q1, this gray box, we have again accumulation. Very clear sideways action. It cannot get any clearer than that. That is accumulation, right? So in the red box, we're expecting manipulation, right? In Q2. If we're going to get distribution to the upside, we're going to expect manipulation to the downside, right? So upon equity open, you can anticipate a move lower and then displacement back to the upside. So there's your manipulation. As you get a displacement candle, this first purple candle is letting you know it's displacing with volume, right? So that is your entry. There's no question. The indicators very clearly, because it changed purple, now you know that's exactly what you want to see. This is also an inversion, right? If you go to a lower time frame, you're going to see inversions in here. So that is your entry. And then the draw was the relative equal highs. Of course, it can go higher for sure, but that's the draw. We're going to take it there. Quick 200 pointer. All right. As you can see, let me see here. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this up. As you can see, that's exactly where I entered. Closure of the 2-minute candle. Boom. TP1 got smashed. Target was the relative equal highs at 94. And it ran TP. So very good. All you need is a couple micros and you can do very well depending on the size of your account. If you have a large buffer, you can scale up. If you're on a bigger account, you can scale up. Doesn't matter the sizing at all. That's a variable, and that all depends on the account size, right? The entry, the setup, and all that is what matters. So with timings, we're able to isolate exactly where and when we should be entering. And then you have a lot of other confluences as well here. You have bullish high time frame swing formations forming, right? And we also have our silver lining indicator. So we are distributing. This is the origin because that's where manipulation confirmed. And at the hold flip zone, here's exactly where we expect price to hold. This is going to be support. This is our level. You could have found an entry from here and took it to this level or the next level up, right? So everything aligns and makes sense. And then you have a nice fox hunt that appears to give you another green light. Then you have a breakaway gap, a newly created indicator that's also letting you know there's a breakaway gap forming. If you're bullish, you really need to get in, right? So a lot of things that are just screaming at you to enter here, and then you would have had a nice distribution play. So that's pretty much the recap for today. A very nice setup. And sometimes, you know, you don't expect or you don't get what you expect, like yesterday with CPI. As soon as it manipulated down, I put in a buy entry above. So if it would have kept dropping, I would have never gotten an entry. However, I expected manipulation because of the weekly cycle sequence, right? I expected manipulation lower and distribution to the upside. So I placed in a buy order, and as it pushed back up, it filled, got me in, and then I rode it up to somewhere around here. I trailed tight after it took these highs, and just in case it did fail. And I did expect that draw yesterday, but we didn't get it. So we trail, we get what we can, and then we come back and line up a trade on the following day, right? With the overall high time frame in mind, right? And this is still a draw, has not been taken out yet. So Mondays are no trade day. Tuesday, we expected manipulation. The entire leg down was manipulation. So things like that, will help you get into these trades and those. This week, if you didn't really get a good trade or things didn't look right, you simply have to try and just stay out as much as possible and preserve capital for the day like this, where it's just beautiful. Everything aligns very well, and you can take the trade, and this will make up for the entire week. This one trade, excuse me. So I'll leave it there. Any questions, let me know.